Hello, she's bringing the big top to you in her latest romantasy. In the pages, beneath the lights, and through the glitter of Carnival Fantastico, you'll find mystical allure, illusions, and swoony second chances. Today, I'm chatting with author Angela Montoya about her enchanting story, the cultural magic and mythology woven throughout, and how she's skillfully crafted a narrative with high stakes, a lush world, and love. Hi, Angela.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I love the intro. So,
Oh,
yes, thank you.
thanks. I was also like tweaking it before you got on. I was like, oh, I just want to add this. I want to change that. So
Yes.
I appreciate that. I am still just it's so cool to me that I got to meet you last month and was
Yeah.
so unexpected too. That never happens with all of the authors that we get to meet. So I'm like, it just feels so special that I got to meet you in person too. And now here we are talking.
Yes. No, that was awesome. What a great book convention too. It was just so great.
Wasn't it? Yeah, how was the whole thing for you? I know when we met, it was kind of like, "Hey, I'm Bree and I'm talking to you soon." How was
Yeah.
the whole weekend for you?
It was amazing, honestly. Like I flew in and I had pretty much I flew in, did an event on Thursday at Mysterious Galaxy, which was wonderful, fabulous indie bookstore in San Diego. But then the next day I had the whole day pretty much off until the evening, and so I got to work. I was there to work, but I got to really dig in and work because I'm currently writing my fourth book. So it was so nice. The convention was beautiful. The location was beautiful. The
Amazing.
readers were amazing. Like it was just great.
I can't speak highly enough of it too. Just it was
Yeah.
everyone that Cam and Alicia, everybody that was working on that was just and so kind and so inclusive and really wanted to make it a great experience for the authors, for the podcasters, for the readers. It was such a cool an amazing weekend. I'm so glad I got to be a part of it as well. And a lot of fun. So fun to meet you and so many other people too. Other like Adib Karam, I mean, talked to him a couple of years ago and then got to meet him in person. So I was like, oh, this
Ah,
is it's so special.
I
Well,
love
before we
that.
get too much into it, I am very curious about your nightcap. I would love to know what you've paired for us today.
Yes. Yes. This was actually fun to kind of like think about because I was like, oh, should I do non-alcoholic? But then I was like, no, this is Carnival Fantastico, like is written in the like, a secondary world, but Prohibition era, roaring 20s. And so I was like, okay, we've got to do something. And so I came upon a drink called the Bee's Knees.
Yes.
Were you thinking that one too?
Every time it was said, I was like, she should be pairing a bee's knees with this.
See, great minds think alike because yes. And my characters say that often to each other, so I was like, this just makes sense. So that is going to be my little nightcap is bee's knees, and it honestly sounds really good. So I
It is
might have to
really
make
good.
it.
It's been
Ah,
a while since I've had one, but it is really good. That was like when we first started this podcast. I think that was one of the first cocktails that we attempted to make and well attempted. I think
really?
we were pretty successful. I would like to say that. And I'll order it now when I go to like certain speakeasies will have it on the menu or anything like that. It's good.
Okay, I'm gonna next time I'm in a speakeasy, which strangely happens often. I'm going to order one of these. Yeah.
Would recommend. And okay, I'm so glad you said that because that was what I was like, that was one of the ones I was thinking about. So perfect.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yes, it sounds delicious. So, yes, bee's knees, 100%.
Cheers to that.
Amen.
Well, I would love to know. I would love to know what was the last book that you read that you couldn't put down, maybe stayed up way too late reading?
Mm. You know, like I bounce between books so often, but right now, at this very moment, I can't get it out of my head. Is a vow of vengeance, a vow in vengeance, a vow of vengeance? Let me look that up. I'm listening to the audiobook because it's the only way my brain can function. Yeah, A Vow in Vengeance by Jacqueline Rodriguez.
Okay.
It's so good. It's so good. It's a romantasy, and it is delicious as bee's knees. It is so good. So yeah, I'm devouring that book right now.
All right, pulling that up right now to make sure that I don't forget because I have a
Yes.
habit of doing that. And so,
Same.
done,
Yeah.
added,
Good. Good. You won't
say
regret
no
it.
more.
Yeah.
Well, on the note of just romantasy worlds, if you could visit any fictional world, where would you go? Which would it be?
Mm. Oh my gosh. I feel like could it be just any like books, movies, anything?
Any,
Okay.
yeah.
I feel like the Pirates of the Caribbean, Pirates of the Caribbean. I apologize. I always say it opposite every time, but I feel like I would love to live in that world and just but in a safe way. Like I would like to be a side character that doesn't experience too much, but I want to be in the action. It's just like so fantastical and big and all the things, so yeah.
I will
Hmm.
say that is a movie that when it comes on, I'm in. I'm seated. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen it, but if it comes across my screen, I'm reinvested in it and I'm not going anywhere. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to finish the whole thing. It's so good. Especially yeah, there's
Yes.
something about to me in particular that first one. I feel like by the second one we start to involve other creatures that I'm like I don't know if I could make it at that point.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're definitely not making it. We're not surviving it, but we're gonna live in it and enjoy it for the time.
We'll have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is. It's so good. And I think it's like so nostalgic at this point too. And I love the ride at Disneyland. So it's like just everything. It's just a full encompassing moment for me. I would live in that world.
I agree. That ride at Disney World is so immersive. You really feel like you're a part of it. Although I haven't been in a long time, so does it still hold up? I don't know. But
Yeah.
going as a teen and even in my early 20s when I would go to that, like I just loved that ride.
Yes. It's just something about it. It's just something about it. So yeah, that's where I'm living.
I do know we're not the only ones. It feels like that's a common thread.
Uh
Maybe it's just women in our our demographic that all feel that way. And that's why I'm like, I know we're not the only ones. I've had a similar
yeah.
conversation.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. I'm not like other girls, but yes I am. We're all
But
same. And I'm here for it. I'm here for all of us.
for sure, we'll all go. Now, if we ask like an 18-year-old girl today, she's probably like, No."
Right. Yeah.
But the rest of
That's a
us,
now I want to know what the youths would say, you know?
let's do a poll. Let's find out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Listeners, let us know.
I was gonna say, well, maybe not our listeners because as someone who's recently looking at our stats, we're very much hitting our age range. And so I don't know how many youths we can pull for that, but if you're there, I am very curious. I would love to know what your take is. Please, please,
Yeah.
please. In a similar vein, I guess, out of all of your characters, so your worlds in Carnival Fantastico, A Cruel Thirst, and A Sinner's Isle, who would you want to meet for like a cup of coffee or tea?
Ooh, that's really fun. You know, oh man, that's a hard question because they all like I really really love the characters and the side characters too. I feel like um that's a really hard one. Okay, in A Cruel Thirst, Carolina, who's the main character, her cousin Nena, and then our male character Lalo, his sister Fernanda. Like, I would love to be in the same space as those two characters and just gossip with them, or just listening to them gossip, whatever it is. Like, they're so dynamic, and they're just like girls, and they're energetic. Like, I would just love to be with those two for sure.
Getting all of the tea from them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Talking a little smack, getting the tea, the good stuff. Yeah.
I I'll be there too. I'll join. I would love
Good.
all that. When you need a break from writing or edits, I know you said you're working on book four right now. What do you like to do when you just need to step away, take your mind
Yeah.
somewhere else?
I I love and I need to do this more often, but I love because I live in the country, so we have property. So I love like taking walks And my favorite thing to do, and this is so cheesy, this is so freaking cheesy, but I love listening to like romantic instrumentals, like soundtracks from from like Pride and Prejudice. And I love walking around and just like imagining, that I'm a main character. It's
And
so
hoping there's a bit of a fog.
yes. It's so embarrassing, but it's my favorite thing to do. It's just like be mysterious and just walking around and like, oh yes.
No,
Uh,
do it. Be the main character. I wish I had property to go. I would do that all the time. I'd go sit by a pond and
yeah, right? Yeah, and you're just like imagining you have this flowing gown and you're just like, oh yes, this is it. Yeah. So that's what I enjoy doing. I also watch a lot of like K dramas and C dramas. And so yeah, that's something else that really fills my well in so many ways. Like they're so good. And I just can't get enough. So yeah, those are my things.
I did see though recently you've been into Bridgerton. Yes.
Oh yes. Yes. Did you
Oh,
finish
I did.
this?
I
Okay.
finished. I finished. You finished?
Yes. Yes.
Thoughts on the season.
My thoughts are in heaven right now. They are just so delighted. It's just so good. I
S-
just as I was watching, I was like, I just need to rewatch everything again. I need to go back to the very beginning and rewatch everything and just like feel that joy and like the angst, everything. It's such a good show. Oh my gosh.
I was like so hesitant about this season for some reason. And then the second I started it, I told everybody, I go, this might be my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm invested. I'm here. I love this. I love the story.
Yeah.
It was such a good season. Highly recommend to like anybody. If you were like me and just had any sort of hesitation, read it or watch it, read it and watch it. You won't regret it. Promise.
You won't. I think I was kind of the same because I'm not like a huge Benedict girly.
Yeah.
Like,
Now I am.
yeah. Now I'm like, okay, I mean, he had his moments where I was like, what are you doing? But now I'm like, I get it. Like he's great. He's so good at this. So yeah, it's just so just good and delightful. Like we just need more amazing shows like this.
Oh, totally. I mean, Shonda Rhimes like can do no wrong
Not at
and
all.
just
You're right.
brilliant, brilliant.
Yes, it's
Okay,
true.
you well, so when you're not listening, watching Bridgerton or listening to Pride and Prejudice Spotify list, um, you like show tunes, yes.
I do. I
Okay,
do.
what's been playing? What would be like your go-to right now? What's your most recent one?
Yeah, it's funny because I'll just put on like I'll just ask my phone or whatever thing I'm listening on is like just play showstoppers. And I can pretty much sing every single one that comes on unless it's like a newer musical that I haven't seen yet. But I'll never skip, and this is maybe basic of me, but I'll never skip a Hamilton track. I'm never skipping it. I know I'm listening to the words, I'm dancing, I'm vibing, I'm remembering, the dance moves that they're doing at this particular moment. It's just something about it's just so damn good. Um, and again, I think it's also like a core memory because I watched the show or the movie on I think was it Disney or whatever. They had it
Yeah.
on with my daughter like years and years ago. And it just like stopped us in our tracks. Like it just ugh. And so we've gone every time it comes to town, we're like, we have to see Hamilton. It's just good. My God.
It's
So that's one.
so good. You're not too long ago, I got in an Uber, and the second I got in, he was playing the Hamilton soundtrack, and I was like,
Oh.
this is gonna be a great ride. I'm like,
Yeah.
normally I don't want to talk to anybody, I just want to ride in silence, but I was
Yeah.
like, but you, sir, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. You're like, I've got a good one here. It's
Yes.
one of the good ones. Yes. You can't like you just can't go freaking wrong. Yeah, I also almost every morning I will sing from Oklahoma. Like I'll sing What a Beautiful Morning because it's just my brain is my brain just is like content to do the same exact thing every day. And so yeah, that's another one that just is near and dear to my heart. And I think it has to do with, again, memories, like my mom singing that to me. So it's like all of these things are just like ingrained into the fabric of my soul because of all these different moments in time. So yeah, that's another one. It's a banger.
Com- Completely. That's for me, that was like from a young age, we went to Phantom of the Opera and
Yes.
we went to Mamma Mia. So like I can bust out some ABBA like
Oh
nobody
yeah.
else. And I don't think so even gosh, a few years into our marriage, my husband and I, we were out walking. We just moved to a new town. And there was an ABBA cover band that was playing in our little downtown. And we're just walking around there, and every single word, I'm just in step with this cover band. And he was like, I don't know how we've been together for like 10 years, and I didn't realize that you know every word. And I go, well, one, it's because of Mamma Mia. That's why I know all of it.
Valid. That's
But
valid.
to your point, it's that nostalgia and the memories. And so like if I was playing, I'm not skipping. If there's a cover band, I'm going if they're nearby. Like and I love it so much. And yeah, that is like I'll put that on in the background and just I'm always singing, always dancing to that.
Yeah.
Those are some of the ones for me that have some good memories
That's
for sure.
that's good. Yeah. Yep. I'm with you on that one. That's a hitter. I really need to rewatch The Phantom of the Opera or go see it again because it's been a while.
I would love so I really like the movie with that, but I haven't seen that in person in a very, very long time. And to me, that is one with the chandelier.
Yes,
It's one to see in person.
it is. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. Now I'm on the hunt. Now I need to see it like again in person. The last time I saw it, oh my gosh, it was 18 years ago. Now that I think about it. And I I forgot because I've had LASIK surgery since then, but I forgot to bring my glasses.
Oh no.
And we were up like, up in the mezzanine and I could I was like squinting the whole time. So I am due for a redo
It
of
was
my
just an
show.
audio experience for
It
you.
was. It really, everything was a little bit blurry and I was
All right,
uh,
that's your homework is
yeah.
just see if that's coming. I need time soon, and in the midst of your already crazy schedule, but when you need a little bit of a break, that'll be the one you need to go to.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so you're from a family of storytellers, which I think is so cool. So other than being surrounded by the craft, was there like a book or a writer that you really point to as your inspiration or that really motivated you to start writing yourself?
Oh man. I as a kid, as a little one, R.L. Stein was like my guy. Like
And you're
every
going to meet him.
yes. Yes. If I build up the courage. I might you might just see me take like a selfie of him in the background. That might be as close as I get. Yeah, because this weekend he will be at the same festival that I will be at. But who knows? Who knows if I'll gather the nerve? But he was my guy. Like I read every book I could of every Goosebump book I could. He's the goat. His stories are just amazing. I went into my son's closet and I found one of our oldest copies, and I don't know if it was like a copy that I had and somehow it survived through my years or it was just something we had, but it's from 1994. And and it's just like the nostalgia again. He's just so good. um so definitely he sort of shaped my childhood. Like I'm a creepy girl. Like I love those sort of things. Um and then I kind of, as I got older, I stopped reading for a while, and I picked up Pride and Prejudice. It was like my first book back into the game. So, shout out to Jane. She's also my nemesis, but she doesn't know that yet, but we're also beefing.
Wait, what? Why? You
In my
tell.
head, in my
Okay.
head, Jane Austen and I are fighting because it cracks me up. So like when my was it a Cruel Thirst? When a Cruel Thirst first came out, I was like, oh, let me check, and maybe I made a list, like one of the, a bestseller list, maybe. I checked on the indie bestseller, and there was Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice in the young adult section, and I was like, how dare? How dare you, Jane? Took my spot, although I was probably never even near getting on the list. But in my head, I thought, Jane, this is it. And
Jane,
so
give
ever
it to
since then,
somebody else.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, Jane, relax. So yeah, she's my favorite, but we're also beefing because I'm like, Jane, help me out. So yes, Jane Austen is also the goat for me. Her storytelling, the angst that she was able to build in all of her stories, but in Pride and Prejudice in particular, like, oh my gosh. But really and truly, like, the Cassandra Clare is another one of those, like, oh, if only I could write like you. Like, again, the angst. She just slays the angst. And really, I think the last book or first book I wrote where I was like, oh, I love this genre. It was a Nora Roberts book, a trilogy, and it was the Circle trilogy, and it was like a true, like, romantasy trilogy. And it like hooked me. It's like sunk into my soul, and I just like was searching for books like hers ever since. And so that's where I was like, obviously, with all of these muses that I've like collected over the years, like I would just like gravitate into this like young adult romantasy with a little bit of horror sometimes mixed in. And so all of those basically authors like made me who I am.
Oh, I love it. Well, yeah, I love that they're all like a little bit different, but they've made you uniquely you and contributed to like your imagination and your way of storytelling. That's so, not to sound cheesy too, but really beautiful.
Thank you. I love that.
Hey, book and wine lovers, we have the best, all caps best news for you. Volume 2 of Bookish Wine is officially available to order, and we have a special offer to share with you. Use our new code Narratives30 for $30 off Volume 2 at bookishwine.com. If you're new to Bookish Wine, it's a quarterly subscription club, or one-time boxes are available too, bringing a special edition romantasy book and artisan crafted bottle of wine right to your door. Here's what you can expect with a Volume 2 box. A special edition of Bound by Hearts and Stone by Lauren Sinatra, completely exclusive to Bookish Wine members. We're talking hardcover with sprayed edges, foiled details, character art, and more. Then you'll escape into the world with the boutique wine pairing, crafted to reflect the story's themes, characters, and mood. Plus, we know the artist design label will be gorgeous and complement the book. Now, here's another thing that's totally unique about Volume 2. You'll receive a free audiobook code. That's right, you'll be able to listen with your ear holes, read with your eyeballs, or both. Head to bookishwine.com and use code NARRATIVES30 by March 15th, 2026 for $30 off, and upgrade your reading nights with this immersive, unique bookish experience. Must be 21 or older. Please sip and savor responsibly. Okay, well, let's talk about it then. Let's talk about Carnival Fantastico, which released just last month. For readers who haven't had a chance yet to embark on a truly magical adventure, what is the story about?
Yeah, so Carnival Fantastico follows Esmeralda, who is a runaway thief and an ex-spy, and she's hidden herself within this magical world of this traveling carnival, Carnival Fantastico. Her time at the carnival is almost up, and the only way for her to stay on is if she becomes the lead act in the big top show. She'll do whatever it takes, including teaming up with the boy who once broke her heart. It's fun. It's hijinks. It's swoony. It's sweet. It is second chance romance. There is miscommunication in there. I know it's a touchy thing. Not everybody loves it, but I love a good miscommunication trope.
It is, but like, it is miscommunication, but it was also not their fault.
Yes, thank you.
So,
Thank you.
like, I mean, I'll go to bat for you on that because,
Thank
like,
you.
it's it is miscommunication, but there were other factors that they didn't necessarily know about or have control over.
Yes.
So it's a miscommunication that makes sense and is kind of out of their control, I would say.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
I'm claiming that. I'm taking it. I'm claiming it. It's true.
Bree says.
Yes. Therefore, it
um,
is true. And it is true.
yeah, because like I can get it though. I get when people are like, it's miscommunication because they're just not communicating and that's not it. That's not this
Yes.
situation. Well, as you were saying, this story transports us to the Roaring Twenties, Prohibition era for the setting. What about that time period? Like, why did you feel so drawn to it?
Oh, I know exactly why. I I have this answer ready. So a couple years ago, I read Ravel by Lissamia Smith, and I honestly try to bring this book up any chance I get, because one, I love the author. She's so talented. She's brilliant. Um, and it shows because this book it is so good. So Ravel by Lissamia Smith. So it's based in the Roaring Twenties, and it is about this family of performers that live on an island off of New York, and the magic system's really cool. The angst again is great. Like every little piece is so brilliant. And so after I finished reading that, I was like, oh, yes. Like this is the world I want to like just breathe in. I want to live in. Oh, so I guess I should have just said that for your question earlier. But it was just so good. And so my brain just started going. Like as soon as I love something, my brain's like, "Oh, what can we do about? What can we try?" And so like as soon as I read it, I was like, "Oh, I need to write something like in this like timeline or in a world like this." And so slowly it was just like building like, well, what could it possibly be? And my brain went to like a traveling circus, a traveling carnival. Because really like the, quote unquote like heyday of the traveling carnival was like 1920s, 1930s. And so that's where it all sort of stemmed from, was reading Ravel and loving how she wrote this world and thinking, I want more. And so it's basically fanfic.
I mean, fair. It's super resourceful and inspirational. Well, I was super curious about that. And as soon as you said, you're like, yeah, this was the heyday of the carnival. I'm like, well, yeah, that makes total sense. Because in my mind, I was like, why carnival? And I say that as someone who, admittedly, the second somebody's like, oh, there's a carnival or a traveling circus in the book, I'm like, I'll read it.
Yeah,
I'll read it.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
and I don't necessarily know why, although maybe that's the theme of our podcast, is I do feel like it's a nostalgia thing in that there were some books that I read early on in my childhood and as a teen, and some movies too that were
Hmm.
so vivid for me and probably don't hold up today. Um, but at the time, like they were so impactful in I don't know, and just like who I was trying to become and the world I was trying to navigate, that now anybody's like, there's a carnival in it, there's a circus. I'm like, okay, I'll read it. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yes, I will. Yes, thank you. Actually, I'll take it all. No, it's so true. There's like something about the mystery and the danger, and it's like it's the gold and the gild and the sheen and the death-defying acts that presents to the audience, and then there's all of this back stuff happening, behind the tent, and that to me has always been so fascinating. It's always like getting like the mix of both, of like wanting to peek behind the curtain and see what's really going on behind all of this like glimmer and shimmer. And so yeah, we love it.
Maybe that's it. Is I'm fascinated by these like masks that people see
Mm,
one side of something, but you don't necessarily see everything going on. But I love the uncovering of that. And to your point, there's danger, there's darkness, things maybe aren't what they appear to be. So it's that element and aspect of it too, With
Yeah.
yours, though, part of what makes it so special and so unique, I think, is the Hispanic influences, not only with the characters, but I understand you did quite a bit of research into cultural magic and mythology as well.
Mhm.
Can you tell me a little bit more about those elements that influence this?
Yeah, in every single book that I've written and I hope will ever write, I feel like that's what not necessarily like sets me apart, but that is the thing that like I will always lean on and go to because it's so important to me and it's so valuable to like get these stories out. So for this one in particular, I did obviously I did lots of research just on circus history, which is not great. It's not a great place, actually.
It's not very happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
As someone who's listened to quite a few podcasts about traveling circuses, not a most of them don't have happy endings.
No, not a great place for anybody probably but the owners, right? Which actually makes sense and it fits so well with my story.
It does.
Uh, but when I came to figuring out the magic system that I would use for Carnival Fantástico, truly it was pretty easy because the world I built came first. And I thought, oh, well, maybe it could just be this mysterious magical source. We don't know where the magic is. Like, it's fine if we don't know. And my team was like, we have to know. Like, you can't just like write a story and be like, get who knows, everybody. And so I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna have to come up with a magic system, which makes sense. I am an author. That's probably what I should be doing. But then, like I start thinking of all the different attractions you would see at a carnival, and my first thought was the fun house, the house of mirrors, and so much you can use mirrors so often in writing or just in your life as like looking at your own reflection, trying dissecting yourself, seeing who you are in real life, versus like the mask you put on. But in Mexico or Aztec lore, there really is a powerful significance with mirrors, particularly obsidian mirrors. There is an actual god of smoke and mirrors. And so once I thought, okay, mirrors is going to be the thing, it was like, well, duh, this is the source. The mirrors are the thing. They are a portal into this other realm, into the godly realms. And so that's when I was like, okay, that's easy enough. Like it's literally the writings on the wall. And so I just sort of built from that point out. Okay, well, if the mirrors are so significant, who is this god that is the god of smoke and mirrors? What does he want? What is this world going to be? And so it just kind of snowballed and created around the circus itself. And and it's so fun. It's so interesting, and I love like the pantheon of Mexica or Aztec gods is is so fascinating and scary and beautiful and terrifying. It's like there's so many interesting facets. And so I just kind of pulled from this god. I changed the names and sort of make him my own. Just because, I want to also honor the gods that are still being worshipped or are still believed in, are still taught. So I'm just kind of picking and pulling and inserting this new thing. But it is so important to me to like research the material and pull from the culture that I know and understand. So it's so fun. I did it with A Cruel Thirst as well. Sinner's Isle was kind of like my starting point. That my very first book, it was like my starting point of like researching and learning. But definitely, I feel like each new book I write, I'm just gonna dig deeper and pull from the material because it's so fascinating and scary.
Well, you kind of gave me chills talking about it, but too, then for readers and well, for me, it just opens up like it makes me so curious about it opens up like the sense of wonder about the world and the things that I don't know and want to explore them more too. So
Yeah.
there's your version of it, but then I'm I hear that and I'm like, well, I want to know more. I want to know more about this history and what people believe that I didn't get introduced to when I was little or even today. I do feel like they're now talking to you and interviewed another author this year who her book just came out. She wrote the other Moctezuma Girls too, which was also based in
Yes.
Mexico. And so I'm like, I think this is my year for Mexican history and mythology and women there too that we don't talk about as much. And so
Yes.
that's for her ever since now with talking to you and with talking to Sophia too. I tell people, I'm like, does anybody know about Tequitchpo? Because I know how to say her name now. So that's bonus points to me. And two, I'm like, let me tell you about this. And so now I'm gonna go to people. I'm like, let me tell you about the myths and the gods behind this one too. So I hope it does that for other readers too. Otherwise, I'm just the weirdo who's like, yeah, rabbit hole. Here I go.
Yes. I love that. And it's so important and beautiful. Like, and that's why we do it is to get people curious. And I love that. I love Sophia. Her books are fabulous. So that is so, so
Sweetheart.
cool. She is. She really is.
Yeah. Okay, well you kind of touched on it, but I was curious too to hear more about how your writing process has evolved over the three books when you think back to the first one and that it what has that change looked like now to Carnival Fantastico.
Oh my gosh, it's changed so much. It's changed a lot. With Sinner's Isle. Sinner's Isle was the second story I ever finished. And so, but with it, I pretty much just pantsed my way through the whole story. So I just made it up as I went. And, I thought, oh, this would be fun next. And then this would be cool. And, and I understood the basics of story structure, but I wasn't like, I wasn't confident in my writing and in my storytelling ability. And so I needed like a lot of help. And I got it. I did a mentorship program. I was in Pitch Wars before that ended, which is a really great program. My author friend Margie Fuston was my mentor, and she really taught me like that you don't have to have every damn scene that you think is cool, because because not everything is pushing the storyline forward. And she taught me just a lot about good storytelling. And so that first book really was me sort of like learning to trust in myself and trust in the process. And when we finally sold it and I got my edit letter and I was like learning how to revise, how to edit, how to pull back, it shaped who I would become as an author. With my second book, I could no longer really just pants my way through because now I was like under contract. And so with that book, I wrote like a very, very basic outline of what I thought the book would be about, of what I thought A Cruel Thirst would be. And my team like gave the approval, like, yeah, go for it. This sounds good. And I had an outline but I still sort of pants my way through like a majority of it. And when I sent it to them and they came back with notes like, listen, we like where you're going with this, but again, you don't have to have every single thing, like every trope, everything you love. You don't have to put everything in the story. You can just like focus on him being a vampire. And her wanting to be a vampire huntress. Like you don't have to also have witches and these things and this thing. You can trust yourself with the story and these characters and their arcs. Like what they're going through is enough. You don't have to throw everything in there. And that was such a valuable lesson of like, okay, again, trusting myself as an author, myself as a storyteller. I don't have to have all the, things. So when it came time for Carnival Fantastico, I had built up a lot of tools through all of these different people in my life, my editors, my mentors, my friends. And and so this one in particular felt very, very different because this time I let myself and my readers, like I trusted us to get there. And so I let the world slowly unbuild, like build. And I didn't feel like I had to put so much action right away. Like I could let us be introduced to the characters and their dynamics and then build and build and build. And so it was very, very scary to publish this book because I thought, oh no, like people are going to hate it because it doesn't have all of the fight scenes and all the things that I've had in my other stories. But it's been very, very nice to hear that no, we got it. Like we're good. You don't have to do all the things. So each I feel like each time I'm learning to trust myself a little bit more and dive in, and like when like a little idea forms, it's like, okay, follow it and see where it goes. And if it doesn't go anywhere, then it's also okay. You don't have to do all the things. And so now I'm writing this fourth book. And again, it feels very, very scary. It's very intimidating. It feels like my biggest book yet. But I know I can do it, and I can trust myself to get there, and I could trust the readers to come with me. So yeah, I think I've just grown as a human being through writing, and I feel like that's the most important thing that I've gotten from this whole experience.
It sounds very fulfilling for sure, just as I can imagine as like a human and a mom and your kids looking up to you too throughout that process. Yeah, it sounds very fulfilling and very connecting to your readers too, connecting to
Yeah.
yourself, but connecting to your readers. I I feel like all the different stories like serve a purpose like that, but in terms of Carnival Fantastico, sort of the reveal that you get as a reader, just it seemed so purposeful and so intentional and really felt like a journey then for the reader with these characters and learning more about the secrets and what made them who they are and who these characters are. Sorry, I love to talk about characters like they're real. That's why I have a book podcast.
Yes.
Because I love to be like, yeah, this is a real place and these are real people. um, I
It
was
is true.
Yes, I'm like, well, that's, yeah, and you get that. Other bookish people don't necessarily get that, but
Yeah.
um
We're here. We get it. We get it. Yeah.
we understand. We understand. Um of the scenes then, and without spoiling anything, because I don't want to spoil anything for people that have yet to read it, what ended up being your favorite?
Oh man. There were so many like little scenes that I thought, "Oh, this is so funny or so clever."
I
Um
laughed out
that
loud a
I was
couple of
just like,
times.
"Oh, good." Good. And those were probably my favorite things of just like me laughing at myself, or like, "Oh, this is good." Like, and some of them are really, really small. There's In the beginning, there's a woman who takes like a tonic and she starts clucking like a chicken, and I just thought that was so funny. And then I brought it back in another scene from another person's point of view of seeing this woman dressed like a chicken, clucking like a chicken, and I thought, oh my god, I am so funny. I thought, oh, I am a comedic genius.
Yes.
And it might be like so cheesy to some people, but I'm like, no, no, guys, you just don't get it. It's funny. Um, there's
You're,
like a
you're,
whole
you're just not, you may not be my audience, you may not be my reader because
yeah.
it's funny.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. Only the real ones are going to get this one. It's really funny, I promise. There's another scene with an ostrich that I was like, I'm again, once again, a comedic genius. Um, like there's just all these like little moments that I had to kind of like sprinkle in my personality and like my humor, and those were so so fun to write. And any scene with Esmeralda and Ignacio sort of bickering or bantering were also so fun to write. So like basically the whole book was really fun.
And that comes through. That comes through when, and well, it's the same thing. I say that you can always feel even for sad, depressing books, I'm like, you can always feel it when the author felt it too.
Mm.
And then it
Mhm.
goes for like the adventures and the humor too. You can always feel it when the author felt it too. It's what makes it so powerful. It's what makes it so moving no matter what. So I'm going to think about that now. I'm like, Angela's out there writing right now, laughing at herself, and I can't wait to see the joke.
Yes. That makes me so happy.
I want to talk a little bit about romantasy like as a genre because obviously this is your space. It has exploded over the past few years. Although I say that and like the more I think about it, I'm always like, but I feel like I read that from, like
Yeah.
age 5 when as soon as I
Yes.
could read. But for the masses, for the media, it's okay, it's really exploded over the past few years. We've talked about it on the podcast. Why do you think readers are so captivated by these stories right now?
And I've said this before, and I really and truly do believe this in my heart and soul. We, especially in our demographic, we were raised on Disney, and Disney, it has romantasy. Like Aladdin is romantasy, and Beauty and the Beast. Like
Is
all of these things have this core romantasy element. It has the fantasy, it has the romance, it has the tension, it has great world building, it has a happily ever after. So it gave us all the things that they obviously knew we needed, that they obviously knew worked, and it works so well because it does it like it just combines all of the stuff that makes life beautiful and good and exciting, but also in a fantastical world where magic exists. So it, on top of romance, because romance as a genre is so amazing and it's so impactful. It is my favorite genre. So we get the goods of romance, but also without being in this world, without having to be in
and some,
reality.
sometimes we need to just not be in this world.
Yes, like damn it, sometimes I just need a teacup to talk to me, and that's enough, okay? Like just bring me out. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. Or I need a magic lamp that has a genie that will talk to me and I'm gonna
Yes.
get 3 wishes. And I might make some mistakes, but in the end, I'll figure it out.
Exactly. Exactly. That is it right there. That's it. We
That's
all just needed this.
that's so true. They created us. They
Yes.
it might have been unintentional,
Yeah,
but
whatever it is, it worked.
we
Because
were
here we
we
are.
yeah, we were set on this path early on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what we should test is like who were the Disney people and are they reading Romantasy today versus the people that maybe only watched Nickelodeon
Mm.
and didn't watch Disney because there's a
That's
difference.
good.
There's a difference
Oh,
between
that
the people raised on Disney and the ones raised on like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network.
yes.
Which
Listeners.
I attribute Cartoon Network to like why I also like Goosebumps and why I liked kind of the creepy
Yeah.
crawler stories too, where I'm like I'm half Disney but with a little bit of horror.
Yes. What yes. Yes. And I think that is going to be sort of where we're going to go next. I feel like we're going to get like the good like romantasy but also make it spooky.
Yes.
I think that's where our next journey is going to be, and yeah, so
Well, is
maybe.
that where you're headed with book 4 or like
Well, so book 4 is like more like book 4 feels heavy on the fantasy but also heavy on the romance and angst as well. But I do have ideas for potentially, because I write young adult right now, but I do have ideas for an adult, like spooky romantasy. And so that's where like I really think it would be so fun to explore, and I think we need more of it, you know?
I think so too. Yeah, keep me posted. I would love to know more. You're
Yeah.
kind of touching on something though that I'm curious about with especially with your first 3 books. I know it's YA romantasy, but like it's definitely a narrative for adults as well. How do you
Yeah.
balance creating a narrative that can resonate with both young adults and adults? Is that something that you're intentional about or does it really come naturally?
Yeah, I feel like it's yeah, it comes definitely comes naturally. Like they are on the upper end of young adult. I am very purposeful in like the themes that I write and weave into my story. So the things, especially when it comes to things like consent and how a young woman should be treated and things that she shouldn't allow, so those are the sort of things that very intentionable when I'm writing, and I'm paying attention to how he is treating her and what she allows and doesn't allow. And so I really do love writing sort of a softer boy in my books. And I really love him falling for her first, because damn it, that's how it should be. I really love how these guys will do whatever it takes for the girls, but also while like loving that these girls are so independent and can do everything on their own, but the boys in my books are there pretty much as like a support. And so in those sort of ways, I'm like, my head is on young readers, and what they'll take from it. But it also does naturally sort of cross over, because I also think women should be reminded that they should be valued and loved and worshipped at all times. So yeah, I just love women, and I love men loving women right.
I I second that. I echo
Yeah.
that 100%. And Ignacio is like, he's just a dream. I mean, a total, and worships her entire, like,
Yeah.
even when he's brokenhearted, and oh yeah, that's amazing, amazing. Well,
Yeah.
okay. I want to talk to you because you're doing it all. You're writing, you're a mom, you're walking fields when you need a break. And you
Yes.
also have a podcast.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
So
what?
we're staying busy over here. We're staying busy.
Oh, busy with a capital B, because then like you're going to Texas. Do you have other events coming up as well?
I do. Yes.
Okay, tell me
So
all.
much.
What else do you've got going on? I want to talk about of publishing persuasion. Like,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
all going on?
So of the publishing persuasion is a podcast I co-host. We started this like I mentioned, I was in a mentorship program called Pitch Wars, and that's where I met my friend Melanie. And it was like it was very, very tense, fast mentorship where we were like in the thick of it. We're in edits, we're in misery. It's hard, but great and exciting. So we really bonded over that. And so once it ended, it was kind of like, okay, well, where am I going to get my adrenaline high now? Like, where am I going to get my community? And so she was like, let's just start a podcast. And so we've been doing it for years, and it's mostly her and I just BSing, reminding each other that we are bad bitches, like dealing with our anxieties and all the things that publishing really and truly like forces you to look head on at. And then we bring on our other author friends. So a lot of our guests throughout the years are just people that I adore, people I find interesting, whose books I've read and I really love. And then we'll also have publicists that will reach out, and so we'll bring these authors on as well. But it's been very, very therapeutic. It's been amazing, and truly, I think if I had not started on the podcast, there would be no way I could do all the conventions that I do now and be on panels, because I'm so nervous naturally. And so to be able to have to speak in public and be around other humans is would be so much. It would be so hard. So luckily, like, it has built this sort of, not that I don't get nervous anymore, but I just know I can still do it even while nervous.
That I do think it helps a lot with your confidence with that. Like, if you are uncomfortable, because yeah, same here. And I think back to the first panel that I did 3 years ago, and I blacked out. I have no idea what I said. Because it was early in the podcasting game. I had the most imposter syndrome ever. Like, did not think that I in all at all should have been on that panel. And I'm on this panel, don't know what was said. Everyone told me it was fine, but I do think that it gives you at least the confidence to know that you can do it, which
Yeah.
is to me 90% of the battle is like believing in yourself and knowing that you can do it. And you're so right that having a podcast and having conversations like that can really help if that's a path that you're going to go down and need to speak publicly, moderate other panels for people, have conversations in front of people, because it can be super intimidating. And it can be
Yeah.
intimidating to like talk to strangers and
Oh,
just,
yeah.
and then be like, okay, tell me all about your life.
Yeah. 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 No, it is. It's so much. It unless and I'm very introverted. So like I need okay, so yeah, so it's like we need this extra like thing to be like, okay, I can ask this if it gets quiet. I could do this if this happens. And so, it's like building.
For that's always my brain. I'm like, and then if they say this, I can go in that direction, and that's okay. Yeah, same here. We joke about that sometimes because I am also an introvert, but I think people don't get that because they're like, we have a podcast. So, and
Hmm.
you talk to people that you've never met before all the time. I'm like, yeah, still at the end of it, I'm very much I'm a homebody and
Yeah.
like I read my books.
Yeah, right?
And
Like that's why we love books. We want to be in the book. Yeah.
exactly. So it does. It kind of forces us to step out of our comfort zone too, which awesome. Well, I am so excited to dig into your episodes. And then you're heading to Texas, and what's next?
Yes. So, yeah, Texas this week at the nope, I don't remember what it's called. North Teen. I'm sorry. I'm going to be in Texas. And then in April, I'll be back in Texas at San Antonio for a festival there. Um, I'll have to put it on my Instagram because I am terrible with names and titles. But I will also be the next weekend at BookCon in New York. And then the weekend after that, I will be at another place. It hasn't been announced yet, but I will be back in California. And yeah, and then I'll be doing other things locally. I'm in Northern California, so I'll be at the Bay Area Book Festival uh, in May, I believe. Just here and there. I'll be at NaughtyCon, which is in Sacramento. I believe that's in August. So yeah, we're going to be bouncing around this year.
You're all over. You're all over
Yeah,
the country. I mean, with that, but that's
yeah.
that's so it's fun. Like I know it's a lot, and I know it's a lot of work and very tiring for us introverts who then like have to take a nap and
Yes.
not socialize for a while. But
Yeah.
that's so cool. Well, if you ever make it to Florida for anything, let me know.
Oh,
Would
okay. I'm gonna need to. I'm gonna need to find a way to get over there.
Yeah, you've got a crazy schedule, but like Miami Book Festival is always amazing. Um, oh, Tampa Bay YA Fest, that's close to me. That
Ooh.
that could be a good one. I don't think it's happening till 2027 either, if
Okay.
I'm recalling correctly. So I'll keep an eye out to see if you're ever going to
Yes.
be in my area, or if I happen to make it back to California, we'll hopefully run into you again there as well.
Yes.
For readers that aren't going to be in any of those locations, where is the best place for them to connect with you?
Definitely on Instagram. I'm at Angela Montoya _author. That's pretty much my main, like where I live. I'm on there. I'll pop onto threads, but that's the main place where you can find me for sure.
And I consider that very brave that you venture into more than one social media platform.
Oh my gosh, I mean, I still have it, but I was on TikTok for a long time. And right before Carnival Fantastico came out, I was like, I can't. I just deleted it off my phone. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So yeah, only Instagram mostly. It's so much. Oh my gosh.
It's so much. It's a lot. That's what we were like. Instagram, we've got our newsletter, we've got our website, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I'm
That's a
like I
lot.
it's a lot. And I'm like, but I like that little space on top of just the podcast and needing to make sure that it goes everywhere it needs to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's plenty.
Yep. But we will definitely link to all of that in the podcast notes as well, so it's easy for everyone to connect with you and then hopefully follow along. And if they're in your area, can join you at one of those many amazing events happening this year.
Yes.
Angela, thank you so much for joining me today, sharing the magic behind Carnival Fantástico, which is available everywhere for readers now. I so appreciate your insights into this story, the genre, your creative process, and I can't wait to see where your imagination takes us next.
Yay! Thank you so much for having me. This was fabulous.
This was so much fun. Cheers!
Cheers!
Thanks so much for listening. The Narratives and Nightcaps podcast is a production of The Craft Co. with intro music created by Remington Haynes.
Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow at Narratives and Nightcaps on Instagram or visit our website, narrativesandnightcaps.com.
Sign up for our newsletter to always know what we're reading next, which authors are joining us on the show, and for extra bookish and beverage info.
Connect with our additional co-hosts, Jordan and Emily, as well.
You can find me on Instagram at Cozy Reads and Sips.
And you can find me on Instagram at books.bottles.
Cheers!
Cheers!